On the shores of Lake Erie here in the city of rock and roll. Our coverage of the NFL brings us to Huntington Bank Field. Today, our draw features two from the AFC between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cleveland Browns.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Set to go is the kicker, Harrison Butker. And off we go from Cleveland. Devin Duvernay to return it. Pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. We're going to have a stoppage here as we see an injured player. It's David Njoku, who's worse for wear following the play. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Quinshon Judkins. And he powers through the middle for a gain of 4.
It's one of those sneaky little runs, Kate, that gets you enough yards to create some doubt into that defensive coordinator. You could stick to the ground. You could throw beyond the sticks. You really create some indecision now defensively.
They'll come up after that 4-yard gain. It's 2nd and 6. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. His first throw is an interception. And the Chiefs are going to have it. And he's going to hang on to that football. That's his first career interception. I got to imagine facing a defense in the bottom half of the league had these guys excited, Brock. But cue the old record scratch sound effect as that defense forces an opening drive turnover.
Yeah, just a reminder for this quarterback that decision-making each and every week is at a premium, and don't look at the stats. Study your opponent.
Now Kansas City looks settled in and ready. Here we go. 1st and 10. Mahomes starting off with a throw. Taking the deep shot there on 1st down. Okay, no luck connecting. It's incomplete. And we're seeing this more and more these days, mixing some deep looks into that opening script, Brock. Test all levels of the secondary. They held up there.
Yeah, and it's not going to be the last time this defense will be tested. This group likes to push the ball down the field. They answered the call that time.
Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. And look at the footwork there. Touchdown! The Chiefs parlay the interception into points. Xavier Worthy, the touchdown. Well, Brock, they could prove me wrong, but I don't think touchdowns are going to come that easily the rest of this game. But starting out, we all welcome the quick score.
Yeah, not a lot of energy exerted, right? Not a lot of their cards shown just yet. They only got a couple plays into their strategy, and they found pay dirt. A lot of mystery still to come with what they're going to do schematically. A lot of answers have to be found defensively.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Butker on now to kick this one away. Here's Duvernay on the return. And he's brought down inside the 20 on an uneventful effort.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Browns look just about ready, Brock. Here comes 1st and 10. Here's Judkins to begin the drive. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that 1st down play.
So close to a big loss of yards for those guys up front. 1 second sooner, they got a tackle behind the line, but a stop to celebrate nonetheless.
Well, nothing doing on the last run. It's 2nd and 10. Another game to Judkins. They stuck with him and got the same results. He is stopped at the line once again to quickly bring up 3rd down.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
So a tough spot now. This is 3rd and 9. Third and long for him here. Looking out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
On 4th down, they'll bring out Blake Gillikin to punt it away. It's a nice running on that return. He gets it up past the 35.
At their own 39-yard line.
All right, the Chiefs in good field position here as they start out 1st and 10. The first carry now, Rashawn Smith. He'll scurry forward for a pick of a 3.
That is simply a stay-on-schedule kind of run. Nothing more, nothing less, just right on schedule.
Now 2nd and 6.
4 yards on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 6. They go play action. It's Mahomes. On target to Royals. The stop is made, but not until he reaches that 17-yard line. They get 40 on the big hitter. And it's going to be 1st down, Kansas City. No doubt they'll take a repeat of how this game began, Brock, and that play has them on their way towards it.
Scripting for success. They'll keep pressing the advantage, too, until some resistance has got to finally appear.
On 1st down, they'll run. And he will get this to the end zone for a Kansas City touchdown. The Chiefs take a 13-0 lead. Well, he found himself some space to work, and from there, all athleticism as he made his way in for 6.
You know, you run the ball down in the red zone, Kate, you're not always thinking touchdowns, right? Space is so hard to come by. But you're exactly right. His athleticism, his explosion, his speed, it puts 6 on the board for the offense.
That one splits the uprights. And the Chiefs drive out to an early 14-0 lead.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Butker on now to kick this one away. That's going to be taken in at the 8. Things going well so far. And great starting field position here as they bring him down beyond the 40.
When you get contributions like that out of your kickoff returner, it is such a boost to an offense. This is about showing no fear, hitting the lane hard, a determined run back, and setting your offense up with great field position.
Nice field position here for the Browns as they start out 1st and 10. Judkins up the middle. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. It's Noah Williams who made the play defensively.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on 2nd.
Here's Judkins on 2nd down. He finds just enough daylight to a 5-yard gain. It's third down.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
To the line. Here's 3rd and 3. Pass play now. Caught by his running back, Judkins. And the defense was ready. They got him at the line.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, and you can make a play in the open field. Keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return.
At their own 7-yard line.
Chiefs coming up to the line here. It's 1st and 10. Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he stopped after picking up 9, so they're set up well here with 2nd and 1.
That run may not have gotten you a first, but sure, a nice little run to set the table.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
First down carry got him 9 yards. Here comes 2nd and 1. Operating from the gun. Here's Mahomes. Man downfield. He's got it. It's Worthy. Into the red zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs take a 20-zip lead. Xavier Worthy, the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. That score was less about the throw, although it was good, partner, but it was more about getting it to somebody who knew exactly what to do with it.
Okay, it's a good thing the touchdown shows up on both their stat sheets, because sometimes, well, it's quarterback who delivers, and sometimes it's the effort after the catch that really makes the magic happen.
That one right down the middle. And the Chiefs push their lead to 21-zip already.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Butker on now to kick this one away. Here's Duvernay on the return. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
New set of downs for him from the 31. They go play action on 1st down. He gets this to Harold Fannin Jr. complete. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Shotgun handoff here for Judkins. And not much space available there. Maybe 2. That brings up 3rd down.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3.
19, Tiger, go!
Copying back to throw. And he's off the mark there. Too far behind him to adjust. That brings up 4th down.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly, you get to 3rd and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was third and manageable and an incomplete.
That's the end of one, and yikes, things looking a little out of hand already. The Chiefs in control so far. We'll return to Huntington Bank Field after this. About set for the second quarter. Chiefs football here. They'll have it here after forcing that punt to end the first. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And a nice chunk there, about 7. He's up to the 27.
Well, that run may not move the chains, Kate. That is such a confidence builder. Sets the tone for more play action, maybe more runs. That's exactly how you want to start a drive.
Last run got him 7. Here comes 2nd and 3. Another carry for him. Continuing to move past the 45. The 30. He could do it. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs are running away so far. We've got a 27-zip game.
Hey, Kate, we're not even to halftime, and this guy has already got a game's worth of success. And the great thing is that, yes, it benefits him individually, statistically, but you know it just sets the table for everybody else because that play-action pass should be devastating.
Butker with the extra point. And the Chiefs grow their lead yet again.
Chiefs 28, Browns nothing. Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Butker on now to kick this one away. Here's Duvernay on the return. And this drive will start inside the 25.
On the return, the Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Airing it out to start this drive. Big strike downfield to Judy. And they're going to bring him down just after he crosses the 50. They get 27 on the play. And that's a Browns first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard
One play in,
line.
Brock, and this drive is already into enemy territory.
Come on, set. Hawk 70, Hawk, hook.
Trying to throw this from the gun. Once more into the hands of Judy. This one's going to move him all the way down to the 25-yard line. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down. Double coverage, deal breaker for a lot of QBs, Brock, but less so when it's a target you trust.
You know, it's interesting, Kate, even 20-something years ago, watching Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning work, every defense would go into every game trying to double cover him, but yet those two, well, like we just saw right there, just got it done regardless.
70 Lions. Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Check the guard.
Working on first down. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. So it's 2nd down coming up. From the gun, Judkins. And he's caught after a game of about 2. Something he does so well. Nick Bolton making a stop.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here.
Set up. Viking 18. Check up.
They'll throw. 3rd and long. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Gonna have to wait a little longer for his first catch of the game. So that brings up 4th and long.
Michael Badgley on for
Michael
the field
Badgley
goal.
gonna try and knock
A
this through for 3.
attempt.
This from 40 on the right hash. Badgley able to knock it through. And that lowers the gap to 25 points.
A dependable kicker, man, that is a coach's best friend. Saves him so much stress to have a guy he can really trust to go out and hit it from that distance consistently. Because from that far out, no kick is a guarantee.
Return starts at the 3. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20.
At their own 22-yard line.
Now Kansas City looks settled in and ready. Here we go. 1st and 10.
Yellow.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Makes the catch, but does not do it in bounds. It looks like he came down on that sideline. 2nd down coming up.
I know that you and I love, Kate, looking at plays and discussing them and all the different outlets and checkdowns, and usually there's a completion to be had, but not against this defense. Not on that one.
And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
This finds its targets. That's Royals. 30! Gets the 10! And he's in for the Kansas City touchdown. The Chiefs making this a leper before halftime. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just gotta ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right? You know, when you run that fly route, you gotta win right from the jump. And you gotta protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Butker on now to kick this one away. Here's Duvernay on the return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Cleveland about ready to go. Here's 1st and 10. Judkins headed right. Wow, he had to power through one tackle just to get back to the line that time.
When one defender failed, well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
At the 25-yard line.
1st down run netted him nothing. Here is 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
Another one for Judkins. Now that's not what the offense dialed up. They stick him for a loss. It's going to be 3rd down.
Give some credit to the defense on that one. We don't see him get fooled into making the wrong read very often in the RPO. That's why the RPO, in fact, is part of their game to begin with. He normally makes the right call. He didn't do it there.
The Chiefs adding a man to their secondary for this 3rd down. Here he goes, 3rd and long. Oh, put some heat on this deep ball, left side. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete.
That one really stings, Kate, because you want to convert there and not only keep this drive going for points, because now you're giving your opponent a chance to go pad that lead before halftime. That's a no-no.
Well to shake off one tackle partner, but the next one got him. He's going to lose yards.
At their own 23-yard line.
Chiefs coming up to the line here. It's 1st and 10. Here's the handoff. And he's brought down as the drive starts out with a 4-yard gain.
You know, Kate, that might be a little bit of a disappointing run to him. He wanted more. They always do. That's exactly what they were after offensively to get this drive moving.
They'll come up after that 4-yard gain. It's 2nd and 6. Here's Mahomes. This one to Williams out left side. And this is across midfield. They're going to stop him at that 45-yard line. So that's going to be the 2-minute warning of our first half. Hang with us. More football in Huntington Bank on its way. Let's see how they attack this first down, partner, from the 45.
Yellow.
Lone back gets the handoff. And a solid gain there. Brock of about 5 takes him inside the 40-yard line.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of the defense.
And they take him down right along the 30. They get an even 10 on that play. And that's a Chiefs first down.
That's just not the guy defensively you ever want in the open field. Frankly, with the amount of space he had at one point, they're lucky to have limited to the gain they did.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Yellow.
To the air, Mahomes. Has him on the quick hitter. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21.
Hey, you like these results on first. That completion right there, right in the window where all options are now available to you on second down. That playbook is wide open.
One final shot before the half. To the sideline and brought in by Worthy. And he goes out approaching that 10-yard line. The Browns have it on the tee, and they will kick it away here. They'll begin his return from the 11. And great starting field position here as they bring him down beyond the 40.
Hey, you go into halftime with a double-digit lead, your number one objective, and they'll all say it in that locker room, it's 0-0 to begin the second half. So you want to come out firing the same way you did in that first half. And that kick returner, he took matters in his own hands.
This is going to take him off and across midfield there at the opposing 45. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
Well, more often than not, it's the passing game that's asked to go from first down in just one play. Get that big play potential on the ground. Jeez, it just infuses your offense with confidence.
First down throw, Mahomes. Lays out left side and gets it. Gain 15 there. And it's going to be first down, Kansas City. New set of downs for him from the 31. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. He's got it in the red zone. And he will get this to the end zone for a Kansas City touchdown. The Chiefs grow the lead coming out of halftime. Butker to try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Chiefs continue piling on to this lead. Butker on now to kick this one away. And this is going to bounce out of the end zone, so they will set up shop at the 35. The Browns, nice field position here as they start out 1st and 10. Here's Judkins. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
That's the kind of yardage it's not going to kill this drive on the first play, but it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now second down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3 and out.
Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7.
Ready, ready! Hawk, Bravo, 80!
Rookie now from the gun. And he let his man just a little too much there. That's an incomplete pass. Trying to get it to Harold Fanning Jr. with that one. And that takes them to 3rd down.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive downfield. I love the call. I love pushing the ball down the field. But the windows in the throwing lanes aren't there long. And it only takes a little bit for a throw to be off.
Into traffic, complete. And he's brought down after a short gain.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the 4th down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line.
All right, the Chiefs in good field position here as they start out 1st and 10. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
That is just a great drive starter. What every offense wants. Gives you a little bit of energy, a little juice, and now a really manageable 2nd down.
Quick throw completed by Mahomes. They're going to keep moving forward, Brock, down inside the opposing 30. They managed 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
And Kansas City Chiefs. 1st down. A gain of 22 yards. 1st down, Kansas City.
Yellow! What's that?
Malone back in the backfield, and they give it to him. He's got him 6 yards on that carry. It's 2nd down.
He's brought down.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
Short pass brought in. And we might be close to this lead growing again, and that play gives them a 1st and goal.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
Yellow!
They'll try and punch it in. And he can only manage 1 yard. The defenders were at the ready to bring him down.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
Ball placed at the 7. It's 2nd and goal.
Yellow! 480! Hero 15! What's that?
Back to throw, Mahomes. He brings it in.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on the throw, that's a go-to route to target.
A gain of 1 yard on the play. It's now 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal now as they try to pile on further.
Wait!
Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. And he hauls that one in. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs lengthen the lead at the end of the 3rd. Now, as they drive forward to what right now looks like it should be a win, Brock, he sure has taken advantage of a nice little chance to boost his stat line. His 2nd touchdown of the game.
Yeah, you just kind of feel these two building some trust, right? Just more and more equity. Certainly paying dividends in this one. More than likely for more games to come.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Butker on now to kick this one away. Here's Duvernay on the return. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line.
On the return, the Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Offense emptying the backfield as they come up here. 1st and 10.
19 Tigers.
They'll throw to start the drive. Ooh, almost a throw to Johnston. Defender had it in his hands. He dropped it. It's incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
That's what I call complimentary defense right there. That pressure by the group up front, that leads to the incompletion and to the benefit of that secondary.
So play number 1 almost ended this drive. Let's see what play number 2 has in store. Back to the air they go on 2nd down. That's incomplete for the moment. We do have a flag down, but it might not be good news for their offense. That's usually where we see holding calls. So the refs get him for holding, and that's going to back this offense up. Their work doubly is difficult now after that holding call. It's 2nd and 20.
Panthers, 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick.
Back to throw now. Dumps it off to his running back. He's out of bounds behind the lines, and that's going to add a couple yards on to this 3rd down.
He specializes in salvaging broken plays out of the backfield, but even he couldn't get anything out of that one, Kate. That defense, they were all over it.
This is a tough spot to be in. It's 3rd and very long. 3rd and long for him here. Caught by his running back, Judkins. And he's going to be brought down after getting this up to the 22. Thankfully, only 1 quarter to play now. We've reached the end of 3 in this lopsided affair. It's the Browns with the ball, but they enter this 4th quarter at a massive deficit. Down big, they're going to exhaust all options, it appears. The offense lining up to go for this. Desperation time here. And they'll turn it over on downs as that pass comes up empty, and off the field they go.
Even the best receivers, they've got occasional breaks in concentration. You just never want to see it happen. One of the most important snaps of the game. If we know anything about this guy, though, it's he'll be up for the challenge the next time the ball comes his way.
Well, even a great game is going to have its lesser moments. You can't get anything out of that carry. Stop for no gain. And it's not just some quarterbacks, Brock Huard, who got to have short memories. You tell me this too, defenses need them sometime as well.
Yeah, 100%. You give up a big run, well, too bad. No time to dwell on it because you got to line up, buckle up that chin strap, and try to knock him backwards.
He's got it to him yet again. That is caught. Now a timeout's called. Cleveland using its 2nd. And with another one gone, they're going to have just 1 remaining this game.
Okay, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on a drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find it.
And they take this in for the score. The Chiefs are running them out of the building. Far from the first time we've broken down one of his touchdowns in this game, partner, but man, they seem to get more impressive every time.
And I don't care, Kate, if they're all 1-yard plungers, if you're up over 300 yards. A 4-touchdown game will forever live among your greatest career highlights. You can go several games without even scoring one. So you get 4 in one contest, you'll never, ever forget it.
Butker on now to kick this one away. Here's Duvernay on the return. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20.
On the return, the Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Starting out trips right here. 1st and 10.
Stephanie! Viking 18!
They'll come out throwing. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Noah Williams.
Well, I don't know what more to say. Just a dominating effort, really, in every phase. To put up a score like this in this league, it's hard to do. It takes all three phases to get it done. And mercifully, well, we're getting closer to the end of this one.
Yellow!
They'll run here on first down. He's going to take this down to the 11-yard line. They gain 11 on that play. And that's a Chiefs first down.
A run like that, Kate, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know it can set the table for more.
So a new set of downs. Here we go, first and 10. From the red zone on first. Catch made. And this one stopped at the 3-yard line.
As a quarterback, when you have an out route versus man coverage, you're just hoping and just praying your offensive guy could turn the hips of that defender. And once you see that, you got to cut it loose and let it go, just as they did right there.
The give here on second. And he's dropped just short the marker, maybe a yard away.
The offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to first down. But instead, the defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on a 3rd and short.
Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard.
Yellow!
Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. Pressure's there, and he goes down again. And the defense comes through, and that's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
You're just not going to win many games in this league when you can't generate a pass rush until the 4th quarter. You needed to feel the impact from this defense earlier and more often in this game. The lack thereof, it's a big part of what's put them playing from behind in the final stanza of this one. Yet another shot across the bow of a ship that's already sinking here, Kate. He could have made that field goal. Heck, he could have turned around and kicked it directly at his coach because it feels like they've got this one in hand.
Here's Duvernay on the return. And he's brought down inside the 20 on an uneventful effort.
On the return, the Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10.
Let's go! Cougar 19!
Back to work after throwing the pick. To the right and pulled in by Judy. And they blow up the opening play of this drive. Love the aggressiveness from this defense.
That's just discipline with a capital D. The play in the huddle is a running back screen, but it takes discipline for that offensive line to not get downfield. Discipline for that receiver to stay alert, stay aware that he's a viable option as well.
Judkins running between the tackles. And this is headed the wrong way. They're going to lose yards here, and it's going to bring up 3rd down. With each carry he gets, Brock, I'm starting to wonder, is this going to be the last touch that he gets in this game? Because it hasn't been a great performance for him.
No, individually, collectively, and you can look up front, right? They've just not been winning the battle enough push, enough drive to get this running game going.
Tempting to perhaps take the yards and run 3rd down again, partner, but they decline it. That's going to bring up 4th down. The Browns are lined up to punt. And this is the 5th time he's been called upon today. And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. So they'll head up here 1st and 10 from the 34.
Yellow!
A give now from the gun. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
This offense is now left with some ground to make up a little bit here on 2nd down after that drive starts with a very minimal gain.
So that brings us to the 2-minute warning in Cleveland. Chiefs getting closer to a 7-0 start. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Back to the well again. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 9 on that play, and it's enough for the first.
I think with that call, they were trying to set him up with a short 3rd down run, but he said, nope, not on my watch. I'll just go get it all right here. Now, playbook's wide open for 1st and 10.
Going to the ground again on first. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
He's across midfield.
Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have second down and 3.
7. Brings up second and 3.
Yellow. What's that?
They give it to him again. He has this down to the 34. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
It's a gain of 14
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the first down, he got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. So it's a win for the visiting Chiefs. And as we play in October, they have kept their perfect start to the season going. To the point, Brock, I think you could argue they might be the league's best team in the front half of this campaign. This has been another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. With all our crew here and my broadcast partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. It's a win for the Chiefs, as with that, we'll sign off from Cleveland.